Namaste friends, welcome to Siddhi Yoga. I am Yogi Tara and we are going to learn Jal Neti. So here I have Jal Neti pot and I have already prepared the water inside. The Jal Neti practice or Jal Neti Kriya is a water nostril cleansing technique. In the traditional practice of Hatha Yoga, we have 6 different types of cleansing practice and Jal Neti is one of the cleansing practice. One of the most important cleansing practice which is easy for every beginner to follow. The practice is very smooth, easy to learn, understand and practice, and the benefits are so much you can get from this practice. The practice of Jal Neti, as I mentioned, it's part of Shat Kriya, which is a part of Sapt Sadhan, the 7 steps to achieve the enlightenment. According to Gheranya Samhita, this is one of the book name called, the traditional book name called Gheranya Samhita. And in the text of Gheranya Samhita has mentioned about the 7 steps. And the first step is the purification. The physical purification is important as the purification of the mind. And in the physical purification process, we practice Shat Kriya. In Shat Kriya, the Jal Neti is one of the practice. Just for your information, the book name called Gheranya Samhita, which is written or the knowledge in Gheranya Samhita taught by Maharshi Gheranya. His name is Sage Gheranya and Maharshi is a title what he has achieved in his spiritual journey. Alright, so here let's talk more about Jal Neti and after the detail we will learn how to do the Jal Neti. I'm going to tell you the benefit of Jal Neti, the water nostril cleansing practice. Jal Neti cleans the nose, so it's a nostril cleansing technique, so definitely it's going to clean your nostril. So while it is cleaning your nostril, dust and dirt out from your nostril, it also cleans your sinus. So this practice is helpful for sinus as your sinus area moves around your eyes. So this practice will give calmness into your eyes and it is good for improving eyesight. It is not just for the eyesight, it has also many other connected benefits. As the sinus is around our face, so this practice is good for the face muscles as well. So those who they are suffering with pimples, dark spot, dark circle or other skin related problems into their face, the Jal Neti practice is one of the best practice you want to add in your routine to recover from those issues in your face. This practice has also other benefit as it moves throughout your nostril, it makes your breathing more easier. So when your nostril passes are clean, the breathing becomes much more fresh to you. You can only understand this after you practice Jal Neti. After you practice the Jal Neti, once all the steps are done and you will breathe, you will feel how fresh air is moving in and out through your nostril. So you will have your experience your own after you complete your Jal Neti practice. So it improves the breathing. You know, when you can feel the breath inside your nostril, you become more aware of the breath and you're breathing more deeply. So the breathing pattern improves and the breath improves into your lungs. So it means it is going to improve your lung capacity. And when you are inhaling longer and exhaling longer, you are going to take more oxygens and release more carbon dioxide out from your body. So get more connected benefit from Jal Neti. There is another benefit of Jal Neti. Jal Neti also calms the mind. So it is a calming for the mind which is very helpful for stress related conditions and also good for headache, migraine and for those who has sleeping problem. Jal Neti brings the freshness and Jal Neti also helps you to feel calm and relaxed so you can sleep better. Jal Neti has both benefit. If you practice Jal Neti in the morning, you feel fresh. If you practice Jal Neti in the afternoon, it will help you to sleep better. Now, let's know the contraindication of Jal Neti. When you are practicing Jal Neti, you should know if you have a cough, cold, flu, fever, then you should be avoiding the Jal Neti. The Jal Neti is not for you. If you are having heart-related conditions, high blood pressure, suffering from low blood pressure or migraine, when you are having these issues, you are not allowed to practice Jal Neti. But if you are not having any issues, you are in medication, you are feeling better, then you can practice Jal Neti and get the benefit from your practice. So these are only a contraindication. The other is the safety when you are practicing the Jal Neti. For the safety, you should know the right technique to practice. Before I will teach you the technique, I want to add some more information. When you are practicing Jal Neti, make sure the room is not cold and should not have much of moisture inside the room. If the climate is cold inside the room or has a moisture inside the room, then this practice will be harmful. After you practice Jal Neti, your nostril might get blocked, you may start sneezing, or you may catch cold or fever. If you maintain the proper room temperature, but the climate is cold outside or you have moisture outside because it's raining season, then I would suggest you, after you complete your Jal Neti, all the steps you complete the Jal Neti, stay inside the room for 30 minutes and then go outside. So what I mean is, if you are planning of practicing Jal Neti, then practice at least 30 minutes before you go outside. So your nostril passes becomes soft. The membranes inside your nostril becomes softer, and as you go into the intense climate where the cold breath or the moisture is heating inside your nostril, then definitely your nostrils get blocked, you will catch cold or fever. So remember that. This is the another safety you must follow before you practice Jal Neti. Now the technique and the safety during the practice. Generally, Jal Neti is quite safe practice for everyone to follow. So here I have a pot to release the water. The water will go down. This is not for the Jal Neti. This is for the water, the wasted water. Here I have a Jal Neti pot. This pot is very special pot. This size is a medium size. You may find small size or bigger size. If you have a medium size of Neti pot, similar like mine, then use the water one side of your nostril first completely and then fill the water again and then clean it other side. Okay, before that, I want to tell you the water I have prepared from inside. The water we use is the clean filtered water I'm using, and it is a lukewarm water. The important, it's a simple drinking water you use, but the water should be lukewarm water. And inside the water I have added salt. The salt is inside for my nostril to feel comfortable when I am moving the water inside my nostril. You know, that feeling is like swimming in the river and swimming in the sea. When you swim in the river and if the water goes inside your nostril, you get the sensation of the needling inside your nostril. But when you are swimming in the sea, if the water goes inside your nose, you don't really feel the water because the water is salty. And in the river, generally water is cold as well. So I have a lukewarm water and salty water. So the nose tissue will not get irritated from the water. As I mentioned, the practice is very easy. You may think it is going to be challenging, difficult, how the water can go from one nostril to another nostril. Just understand. The nostril passes are connected to each other. So you're not pushing something, you're not pushing the water or sucking the water to bring it in and take it out from another nostril. It is very natural technique. You don't have to do any effort to do that. There is another passage. The passage of the nostril is connected to your throat. So sometimes the water drops into your throat, which is totally normal. You just have to change the angle of your head. Then water will change the direction and it will come out from your other nostril. Just change the direction of your head. You will see the changes will come. So this is the few things you need to know before you practice. Before that, how to hold the neti pot. You always hold the neti pot from the bottom. This gives you the right angle. Why? The reason is we do not want to tilt the head too much down to one side. Let me show you what I mean. When you are practicing Jal Neti, if you hold the pot, and here you can see this long part, this is the knob. That knob will go inside the nostril. And here, if you hold from the bottom, and to move the water inside the nostril, you want to tilt the pot, right? So, to tilt the pot, you just need to lift the elbow up. Instead of tilting the head down, you just need to lift the elbow up, so the pot will tilt and the water can go inside the nostril easily. But if you are holding the pot from the side, like this, then you don't have movement with your elbow to move up. You cannot tilt your pot. So what you will be doing here after this, you will be tilting your head down. If the head tilts too much down, the water can travel from your sinus to your ear. It does not happen with everyone, but with a few people it happens. If your sinus are opens, if there is a space, then water can travel into your ear. Anyway, as the day passes, the water comes out naturally. But if the water stays, it will give you the irritation. It might give you pain, or it will give you that irritation feeling that will not feel comfortable. So if you want to follow the safety for this, remember, just tilt your head a little, not too much down. Just a little, and wait for the water to come out. Again, with the pot, so here, this is how we hold. Wrong position is this. You don't want to hold like this. You want to hold from the bottom. Again, I'm going to show you, this is the knob, and this part is going to go inside my nostril like this. And then I will be tilting my head a little, and then tilting my pot to move the water out from the other nostril. All right. Now, before you begin your practice, you must check which nostril is working more. Generally, your one nostril is working more than other. We call swara. So let's check which swara is working. My left nostril feels more open than my right. So I'm going to do the practice. I'm going to begin my practice with my left nostril first. So you always start with the open nostril so the water can pass easily. If you start with the closed nostril, it will be hard for water to travel from one nostril to another nostril. So I should be starting with my left. Let's switch the position. And now I'm going to bend a little. You can do Jal Neti with the standing. You can do Jal Neti seated. Not all the way seated. You can do Jal Neti like this. Deep squatting posture, and then do the Jal Neti. Alright. So here I'm going to lift the pot up and going to do the Jal Neti with standing position. When you are practicing, you should be breathing from your mouth. Because when I will be practicing, I won't be able to speak. So I'm just going to demonstrate. I want to finish all my instructions so you can understand and follow. When you will be practicing, remember the mouth should be open and you are breathing from your mouth. Do not breathe from your nose. And before you start, breathe and make yourself relax. Your breath should be relaxed, your body should be relaxed. Then only the practice will become easy. Now let's see how the practice goes. We move the knob inside, opening the mouth, and wait for the water. So when you are practicing by yourself, you want to clean one side completely and then you fill the water again and clean other side. Let me clean my nostril and then I will give you another instructions. So it was a demonstration for Jal Neti. When you are practicing by yourself, like when I do my self practice, I usually use 2 parts of the water from one side of the nostril and then I switch. But as a beginner, I would suggest you, if you have a medium size, then fill the water and use it one side of the nostril and then fill again and then use it for other side of the nostril to get the maximum benefit. If you have a bigger than this size, then you may want to do half-half. If you have a smaller, then you may want to do 1 or 2 from one side and then 2 part from other side or 1 part. It depends. Like once you become comfortable with the practice, then you add more water. But in the beginning, just to understand and connect with the practice, maybe just 1 cup of the water is sufficient for you. All right. So you can always adjust. Remember what I mentioned during the practice or before the practice I mentioned about the breathing. You must open your mouth and breathe through your mouth. This is very important. If you're not breathing from your mouth, the water will not come out. You might think why the water is not coming. Because you are not breathing. You must breathe. Even if you are not breathing, the water will get stuck inside your nostril, will not come out. If you breathe from your mouth, the water will come out. All right. So you must breathe. And don't worry about it. If you're not breathing, the water will stay in your nose and it will come out itself. So it's not like water will get stuck. There are some common things you may face. As I mentioned in the beginning, the water can go into your throat because the passage is connected. If your chin is too far from your chest, then there are chances, or it is lifting up, there are chances that water can go to your nose and then it goes down into your throat. It is normal drinking water with salt, so you may not feel uncomfortable, but it may happen, and this is normal. You just have to bring your chin down closer to your chest and adjust the angle. You will see the water will come out from the other nostril. Sometimes what happens, if your chin is not too far but is bit far, the water as it is coming out from other nostril, it goes into your nostril from down to your lips and going down from your chin. It looks funny. So if you want to avoid that, again you want to move your chin down and try to adjust your head angle and see where the water can find the way to go down straight towards the pot you have been using. Okay, so you just have to adjust your head, the rest will be fine. One more common thing which is totally fine. You may find your eyes are feeling calm. As I mentioned, it is one of the benefits. So definitely you feel cold in your eye or calmness in your eye. But there's another thing may come when you are practicing Jal Neti. The tears. You may feel tears in your eye. That is also totally normal. This happens when you are practicing Jal Neti. So there are few things which is a normal and which happens with every practitioner, even they are beginner or even they are practitioner. It happens with everyone, and these things are common, these things are normal when you are practicing Jal Neti. So I have mentioned every detail, every steps. And now the part of the ending of the Jal Neti. Jal Neti is not finished after you pass the water from one nostril to another nostril. After you finish the Jal Neti, you must dry your nostril. If you think the water has dropped out and it's not inside, you are wrong. The water goes inside your sinus and stays. You need to dry your nostril properly. Therefore, you need to do breath cleansing technique known as a Kapalabhati. Now, for this practice here, for Jal Neti, generally we do with the seated. For Jal Neti, we do with the standing like this. You can do seated, but this is the standing way. You place your hands on top of your knees or thighs. But if you are placing your hands on top of the knee, do not put much pressure into your knee or have the palms on the thigh. And now the breath cleansing. like this. You do repeat exhalation. Repeatedly you are exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. You are inhaling, but forcefully you are exhaling to dry the nostril. Practice this for at least 15 to 20 breaths. If you still feel the nostril is not dry enough, then do it again. And do again for 15 to 20 times until you feel your nostrils are dry. Sometimes you feel that the nostril is dry, but sometimes they are not. Because when you are doing the repeat exhalation, the exhalation of the breath pushes the water inside and the water stays inside the sinus. And we want the water to come out, remember that. Because if the water stays, your nostril can get blocked easily. Therefore, there is another technique. After you do the breath cleansing technique, then you want to sit in rabbit pose or child pose. You can pick any of one pose, and there are more poses which can work for you more better. Downward facing dog and simple standing forward fold pose. If water is still there inside the nostril, it will come out naturally. You can pick any of one pose or two poses from this four of the choice and hold inside the pose for at least 30 seconds to 1 minute. Wait for the water. If there is a water, definitely the water will come out. If the water comes out, then you need to wipe your nostril properly, and then again you must do the breath cleansing. When I was doing the breath cleansing, I was using the body movement like this. When you use this momentum, it helps you to do the repeat exhalation and the active exhalation. The exhalation becomes more easy and more strong to cleanse the nostril. So you can add this movement, it will be helpful for you. And once you do your second time, the breath cleansing, the nostril drying technique, then your Jal Neti is complete. So this is the whole technique of Jal Neti from the beginning till the end. So here in this video, I have mentioned about the benefit, contraindication, the technique. Some are the common things you may face and the safety in the right direction, and after that how you finish the practice. So these are all the correct steps you must follow to practice safely and to get the maximum benefit of Jal Neti. The Jal Neti is one of the best technique, and it's my personal suggestion. If you are even tiny bit interested about Jal Neti and you are not sure, I guarantee you, you will enjoy practicing Jal Neti. Try today. Thanks for the watching. Namaste.